What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the weekly Roundup. My name is Carlos from Omni City Comics, and I'm joined by my co-host today, Manny from Manny Reads Comics. What's going on, man?
It's all good right now. I think our third co-host might join us in a little bit, but Nick's not here for now. But I'm
Yep.
ready to talk comics. His picks are bad anyway, so we don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, man. If he does end up jumping on, you know, he should be able to give us his uh terrible,
He'll catch up.
picks pretty quickly. Yeah, he'll catch up.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But a quick rundown before we get started. We like to go over our top three picks for the week, discuss what we liked about them, our thoughts, feelings about why they were our favorite books, and then from there we like to move on to a disappointing moment that we had for the week, just to let out that aggression, and that can be anything comic related, whether it's a comic panel, something that one of our favorite characters did, comic related news, comic movie news. It doesn't matter as long as it's something that we're just not feeling. And then we like to get a little bit more positive and go over our favorite cover of the week, and we finish it up by letting you guys know what we are excited for next week. We're also doing a weekly bracket to see what our top comic is going to be for every month, and ultimately help us decide what our favorite book is going to be for the year. Um, Last week for me, I think that my favorite book was Seven Secrets, um, and it's been a good book, man. So we'll see how it holds up this week.
Yeah, no, Seven Secrets was really close. Mine was Superman 11, just barely beating Superman 11, Seven Secrets, but
Seven
Superman
Secrets, yeah,
11, Son of Kal-El, was my top, and I don't think it's gonna
yeah,
make it anywhere near the best of the year, but it's the top of this week,
yeah.
so it is what it is.
But you know what though? Not gonna lie, you picking Superman, it really surprised me, man. That it beat out Seven Secrets. I
Crazy.
haven't read the issue yet, but it's on my list of books to read this weekend, along with is it 8 billion genies or eight
Yeah,
million genies?
8 billion
Yeah,
genies. Yeah.
8 billion
You
genies.
know what? Let's just forget the show. You can just go ahead and read it right here, real time. We can talk about it.
But you know what though? I actually did pick up the book, man. I went
Nice,
to the
nice.
I went to the comic shop because I got a couple books that I'm was missing out on some covers, and there was like two or three issues left, and I decided, why not, man? Give it a try on your recommendation. So maybe
That's
I'll
that's too much pressure on my end, man. I don't know.
but maybe we'll talk about it on next week's show.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get started. My number three pick, making it on the list again, man, is World's Finest number three.
Okay.
Um, it I it's probably gonna make the top three every time that an issue comes out, man. And I don't want it to just be that basic that I'm adding it every single time that it comes out, but it's just a hard book to read, man. And it continues meeting all of my expectations, everything that I want in just a fun comic book story. And we continue the overall storyline of Batman, Superman, uh Doom Patrol, Robin, Supergirl, trying to go up against this ancient demon lord. I I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Nesna?
I just said
Neza?
I thought it was an
Nez,
H. Neza.
Neza, right? Neza?
That's what I say. Let's just call
Yeah,
him Z. He's got a Z
yeah,
in there. So
yeah.
yeah.
Call him Z. But he's cool, man. Like he's scary, and he's definitely formidable, man. I mean, he's got that magic. So Superman and both
Yeah.
Supergirl, they're not 100% effective here. But yeah, it just continues the storyline of Batman and Superman really teaming up, man. I think this is one of the like world's finest books that I feel has done the best job of really showing Batman being a team player, I guess,
Yeah.
and Batman and Superman really working together, because I feel like for the most part there's always that little bit of mistrust, or that little bit of tension between the two of them, but they really feel like friends here, man. And
Yeah.
it and it's really refreshing to see.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of seeing Batman be just gloomy.
Yeah.
I can't trust anybody, but I trust everybody. Everyone's my friend. I just can't show my feelings.
Yeah. But yeah, and in this issue, we get a little bit more of the like backstory of how this demon came to be, how he was defeated. Um, and there's a fun little kind of like side quest that Robin and Supergirl end up finding themselves in, where they actually travel back in time,
Mhm.
and they meet the warriors, that banded together to first seal this demon away. So we got multiple, I guess, kind of like storylines going on. It's in the past with Supergirl and Robin, and then we got Batman and Superman, trying to deal with everything going on right now, and then we got Doom Patrol also, researching and looking into a different aspect, and kind of everybody just working together to take down this demon. And I mean, everything that I mentioned before, in the past shows, it again still rings true here. Great pacing. The art is absolutely wonderful. I've said it before, man. Dan Mora can be on any book, and I'll read it.
Yeah.
And it's fun, man. Comics at its basic, but it's good, man. It's my number three pick.
And it's funny that it's on its third issue, and it keeps making. In the last three times that it's come out, it's made our list. So, like for me, it's my number two pick, right?
Oh damn!
Yeah. So it's like that's how good this book is. It's made our top 300% of the time that it's been out. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's always made it there, at least by one of us.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and I don't think Nick is reading it. I think he refused to, and he's missing out.
You know, I think that the last issue he finally jumped on
I don't know.
from
I don't
from what
know.
I
We'll
remember,
see. We'll
but I
see
don't
when
know.
he comes back on.
We'll see though. We'll see.
But yeah, no. For me, it's all the same reasons that you had. It's just a great book. I even though it is consistently on our top, I don't know if it's gonna be the best book of the year or anything like that.
Yeah,
But it is up there. It's gonna be like one of the best series of the year for
for
sure.
sure.
And of course, I will say that this one ends with, of course, it's Batman's fault. It's always Batman's fault every time, and it's a little hypocritical from the last issue to this issue from what Batman said. Like you, basically, not to completely spoil it, but Batman in the last issue was like, "Hey, you keep notes on all the Justice League members." As if it was a surprise, as if nobody would ever do that. Why would you do
Right?
that? And here we
Hundred
are
percent.
in this issue. But
100%.
yeah, I agree. So yeah, that's your number three. Um, for my number three, though, I'm gonna go with Slumber number three.
All right.
That one was a good book. I don't know if you saw it, but whenever I'm like cataloging my comics, I have to flip them over and all this stuff. And I flipped to the back, and it's like a little line drawing of what's her name, Stetson. Uh,
Stetson.
Stetson and her family before the Stetson that we got to know, right? So, and in this book, we do get her backstory. We see her daughter. We see I'm assuming ex-husband, probably like has given up on Stetson for trying to figure out what's wrong with her daughter. But Stetson finally comes face to face with our main villain, uh, which was amazing. And I think what I really wanted from this issue though was and it kind of got me because the cover, it shows that guy. I don't know his name. Do you know it off the top of your head?
Her like demon friend, right?
Yeah,
I forgot his name, honestly.
whatever. Well, it shows him and he's eating like this really is straight from what's happening in the interiors. Like the cover and the interiors really match up perfectly, which I love. But I thought it was gonna be like a backstory on him, but instead we went straight to her backstory, which was great. I very much appreciated it. The art again very much goes with what the story is telling about nightmares and things like that.
Yep.
Um, and honestly, I feel bad for the cop in this because he's just along for the ride, but he doesn't know. He didn't even know he got on the ride.
Yep.
Like basically is what it is. He's just like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And you basically are him with a tiny bit more information than he does because you're
Right.
constantly going, what's going on? Oh shit, what's gonna
Yep.
what's gonna happen? So very excited to read number 4. Very happy that I jumped on this book. Yeah, if you haven't read it, read this book.
Uh, it's funny, man. Like inverse, because
But
Slumber is my Slumber is my number two pick, man. Um,
I had to put World's Finest above Slumber
huh?
because Dan Mora. You said it,
Right?
Dan Mora. Like everything about like his drawings were just beautiful. So like I just that was the criteria that gave it like one or two more points. You know that
The
was like
kicker, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Slumber, this issue, it beat out World's Finest, like you said, by just that little bit, because it opened up with that backstory, um on Stetson's daughter, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like our greatest fears are being confirmed, but we're only giving a little hint. So it's adding to that tension. And that's that this demon, Valkyra, possessed her daughter, and something horrific happened to her. And we've seen
Mhm.
what this like nightmare demon does to, people. And it just puts some really dark pictures, in your head. But it built that tension, um, and it really gave you like an understanding to the desperation that Stetson has in finding this demon, getting revenge, um, because she
Been
doesn't know
5 years.
what else to do,
And
huh?
I don't know. It's been 5 years that she's been chasing this demon, um,
Yeah,
and I don't even know if it's desperation or more of just like anger.
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah,
assuming
yeah.
daughter is dead. You know,
Anger.
I'm assuming, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, I really also think that her daughter's dead, and I guess I mean to say this like desperation to get that revenge, because
right,
she's been carrying this, like you mentioned, for 5 years, um, and it was great seeing that flashback, like you mentioned, of her husband and her daughter, because in this flashback, like Stetson wasn't a nightmare or dream hunter. She was
regular
just
mom.
exactly just regular mom. And I thought it was really cool that, well, uh a little background, not to spoil too much, but her daughter was basically having, these nightmares, and they were getting worse and worse and worse. And we end up finding out that it was Valkyria that was, possessing her. And Stetson and her husband, they don't know what to do. And it was really interesting to see that he was the one that, said, hey, I've heard of this dream healer person. Um,
Yeah,
let's maybe try it out. And I feel like that was the, door opening for Stetson to become who she is.
yeah. This is
Um,
probably where she met that one guy that stays back and like deals with the body
yeah,
while everyone else is asleep.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was just really interesting, and again, a great way to open up her backstory. And it was short. It wasn't long, but it 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 got to the point, and it made you empathize with her, and it it fulfilled what it needed to fulfill. And the fact that it was able to do so in such a short, um um uh, time frame, basically, it was great, man. Um also, gotta talk about the art again. Like you mentioned, the art just fits this book. It's creepy as hell. It makes you feel uneasy. And it's very dreamscape, very, dreamlike. um and what I really like too is that you get some really colorful and bright pages, because again, people are having dreams,
Dreams.
but
Yeah,
there is an underlying there's an underlying creepiness to like the background scenery, the characters. There's not a moment that you feel like you can let your guard down. You're always on edge. So yeah, man, great book. Can't wait to read the next issue. And like you mentioned, she finally comes face to face with Valkyria, and I think that there's gonna be a showdown next issue. So yeah, that's why it was my number two pick.
I mean, so I guess I would say, do you want to go into your number one because
Oh, I mean,
my number
I
two
guess
was Love
yeah,
Finest.
um, might as well, right? Yeah, another DC book, man. Like, damn,
Are we
I
gonna have the
mm,
same one?
Maybe, but when we started this, man, I really didn't think that Marvel was gonna be lacking. But
Yeah,
number one pick, hands down for me, had to be Nightwing. Um, number
Nightwing it
92.
is.
Yeah, had to be Nightwing.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know what's crazy? It was the first book. Oh, sorry, it was the second book that I read.
Mm,
Um, but the moment that I opened to page number one, I knew that it was going to be my number one pick. That's how confident like I was and how much I enjoyed this issue. We open up with a flashback. Um, of
mhm.
Dick being Robin, and him being out on a mission with Batgirl and Batman. There's this riot that kind of breaks out in the city, and Robin is by himself because they're all split up trying to contain different parts of this like crazy riot like I mentioned that's broken out, and he's narrating how whenever he sees someone in trouble, he's always going to jump in, no matter what's going on, no matter what the consequences may be to him. Um, and this flashback is beautifully drawn by Bruno Redondo. Um, it- I think that he's been amazing throughout, and he's had some like spectacular issues, but this flashback, the way that he's able to draw it, and kudos to like the colorist as well, it gave it the perfect old school feel with a very modern twist.
Oh yeah.
So you know it gave you that nostalgia for like the old costumes, but again it was in Bruno Redondo style, and it just looked wonderful, man. um but this flashback was basically a way for us to open up to where he is in the present, and him trying to revitalize Bloodhaven, and that he can't just see his city be in need, and so many kids and so many people that are on the streets that no matter what challenges he faces, no matter how many murder attempts are put on him, he's gonna continue wanting to help. And I just the flashback story, going into what's going on in present time was just really really well done by Tom Taylor, and I got the nostalgia, man. I got the nostalgia, um, and yeah, it was just great, man. That's why I made my number one pick. And the last thing I'll say, it finally did what I've been wanting. This issue is moving the story forward.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting some action, we're getting a little bit more development, and yeah, man, it was great. And I really enjoyed the cameo that John Kent made Superman. He's been featured in a couple issues, and I really like the fact that their friendship slash mentorship maybe kind of
Mhm.
is developing, and it was cool to see him, man, and for him to like pop in. um Dick mentions Flash, so all of the characters that have been part of this ongoing storyline, they're mentioned, and it makes the story feel cohesive. It makes it feel like it's happening in real time. So yeah, that's why I made my
Yeah,
number one.
I'm very happy that's what Tom Taylor's doing. It's obviously Tom Taylor's doing of having all of these characters going because he's on the Nightwing book, he's
Yep.
writing the Superman book, and I
Yep.
don't know why he's consistently bringing flashback, but he's consistently doing that. And so I thought that was really great of him. I think that it's something that I hope DC writers really do see it. They internalize it, and they all do it. Like maybe have a group session every once in a while and make that
Yep.
happen consistently. So I thought that was awesome. I really love Alfred doing his thing, and we get to see him, in that flashback, and then we get to see him memorialized. So that was really awesome. Tugging at the heartstrings. You're always going to hit my top three if you're going to be
Yep.
tugging at my heartstrings, right? But everything else, you've already covered it. That's why it's definitely number one pick for sure. But like we said earlier, Nick was probably going to join us a little bit later, but it looks like he's here. Nick,
Morning, man.
Hello.
Nick, tell us your 3, 2, and then tell us why you like your number 1.
No
Yep.
way you guys are done already.
Yeah,
Hundred
we had the
percent,
same
man.
book.
Oh, you have the
We
same books here, a bunch of lamos. My number 3 pick of the week is Image number 1. I Hate This Place. Really unique character personalities for the main characters. Involves zombies, aliens, and some weird demon horn guy.
oh
Um,
shit. I passed
and
this up. Now maybe I gotta try it out.
yeah, artwork is pretty solid.
Okay.
Coloring is really good, and basically, it set the whole plot as this girl inherited this cattle ranch from her aunt and uncle, who mysteriously never like disappeared and never really like interacted with the family. You get like a weird flashback of like a nightmare of her like visiting one time. And then it turns out that they weren't able to leave the place because like these weird demon aliens would hunt them down and bring them back. And the only way they can get away from them is this soundproof room full of VHS tapes.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Interesting.
It's my number 3.
Nice.
Number 2 was almost a tie, but I decided to throw it at the obvious win, which was Nightwing 92.
Wow, look at this guy. He tried so hard. He was almost right. He was almost right. Nah.
It was between these two.
All right.
But this Nightwing 92
Yep.
was just an amazing issue. The whole Barbara Gordon stuff, Ace the Bat Hound, seeing Bruce just be Bruce.
I like
All
that he
that
got
stuff
put
was
in his
cool.
place by Blockbuster. He's like, "Who are you? Like, you're nobody."
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I love how this book isn't just all Nightwing or all Dick Grayson. It's like it's not, I wouldn't say equally balanced, but it's like oddly balanced where I enjoy it. Like there's issues where it's mostly Dick Grayson, then there's issues that are mostly Nightwing. But like each issue has a little bit of both, enough where you
Yep.
don't feel like you missed out on the other half of him.
Yeah.
Very good point, man. Yep.
Yeah, and this
Very good.
issue itself was just beautifully drawn. It was a fun issue. Nightwing always makes my top 3.
So why did World's Finest beat Nightwing?
Yeah.
World's Finest beat Nightwing because honestly, it was just so beautiful. I'm really enjoying the whole Doom Patrol stuff. I love Dan Moore's artwork here. I'm a big
Hard to argue with
Wade
that.
fan. What?
No, I was to say hard to argue with Dan Moore's art
Yeah.
and Wade's writing, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really enjoying it. I really love the coloring. I love the Supergirl and Dick Grayson team up.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
I love her costume, man. I love
Dude, her
the
costume. That's the best. I know this
Oh
is
my
supposed
God,
to be like a
it's so
throwback
good.
story, like set in the past, but that's better than any costume she's ever worn.
The
I was gonna
costume
say
is so good.
that's probably the best that Dick Grayson's ever looked in a flashback as well. Like, like he looks
He's not
amazing.
wearing he's wearing tights instead of short shorts, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just talking about in general. He looks amazing. Like he looks like a badass as Robin. And
Yep.
I do want to say one.
This is
It's
like
not really
an
it's not
older
really a
Dick Grayson,
negative, but it's like
right?
why is Batman getting held that way by Superman? Why is he so stoic?
Yeah. but you know what though? The comedic, presence of that, beautiful.
He's just like
Beautiful.
just flying through the sky. I loved it. Yeah, no.
Beautiful.
So it's not really a
it was,
negative.
It
but
was a really good issue. Did it make your guys' top 3 either?
it
Yeah.
was my number 3 and Carlos's number 2.
Number 2. Yep.
All right, sorry. You know what? This is a series that I didn't want to pick up, but you guys talked me into it.
We were just talking about that. We were just talking about like I don't think Nick is reading it, but Carlos called it. He said that you picked it up because of us. So
Well, I showed you guys my polls this week because Carlos tried to say that I have trash taste and my pull list sucks.
I mean, he's not wrong. Just because you have a few good things in there doesn't mean anything, man. Like,
What were you
but
guys
Nick,
number one? Nightwing.
yeah,
yeah,
Nightwing.
yeah,
Nightwing
yeah.
came out.
And what was Carlos's number three and your number two?
Slumber.
So yeah,
Yeah, that was a really
yeah,
good book. I'll talk about it later.
Oh no.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. So everybody, those are our picks. Um, Good week, man.
Oh yeah.
Really enjoyed everything that I read. So yeah. Um, let's let's bring things down a little bit though. Let's talk about disappointments, man. Um, I know that everybody's talking about it. I know that probably everybody's giving their opinion on it, but I still gotta mention it though. That She-Hulk trailer, man, really let me down.
I
You're
Wow,
don't
all
think it's
fucking
that bad.
stupid.
I don't think it's that bad.
wow, huh?
I don't
It
think
was
it's that
great.
bad.
Check out
So,
my reaction to watching it
so,
live on Vinyl
so,
Casket on YouTube.
I wouldn't say it's great,
so,
but I wouldn't say it's the like
yeah.
horrible either.
So, but let me be more clear though. It's not even that the story or like the direction or how Jennifer Walters feels that disappointed me. Not at all. That all seems fine. It really is the CGI, man.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's just a trailer. You don't know what the finished product's gonna look like.
That's the finished product,
look,
100%.
look, I
100% that that's going to be the
I've
finished product.
I've heard this, dude. That is the first argument that people always make when a movie, looks bad. When a video game, looks bad, the defense is always, why you jumping to conclusions? They have time to polish it up, right? To polish it up, dude. There's no way at this stage. The only movie that I've ever seen actually successfully do that has been Sonic. That's it. I, Sonic, man. That's it. I can't think of another movie where like the CGI was looking bad or a show, and people said, "Hey, you know what? It's gonna get better." It's not gonna get better, man. That is the finished product. Unless again, Marvel can pull, Sonic. It just disappointed me, and I know that that's not enough to say, "Oh, this show's gonna be terrible." No, no, no. That's not at all what I'm saying. It's just that I was really looking forward to getting She-Hulk on screen and for her to look just amazing, for her to look really good. And that is not the best kind of animation that Marvel can put out with the kinds of budgets that they have. It's just not, man. Like it just really isn't. And look, um uh CGI, departments, animation departments across the board. People are stretched thin. I know that they're having to work with limited teams, all of that stuff. But I just feel like again, man, Marvel can do a better job of put of putting something out that is deserving of She-Hulk, man. So I don't know. It just kind of disappointed me. It looks clunky. It looks weird.
So
I'm so excited for the show. I'm so excited for the show. Absolutely gonna watch it. And my issue with it again, it's not how the show feels. It's just how She-Hulk looks. So that's my disappointment, man.
I hope you eat your freaking words because we already just saw Marvel play games. Hey, let me finish.
And I
I
will.
hope
I will happily eat my words. I hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that I'm
so.
wrong. 100%.
With the Doctor Strange trailer, they gave us a trailer that was nothing like the movie. They might be doing this just to mess with people and get everyone
Hold on.
upset.
Wait. I gotta cut you over there. Back up. One thing is misdirection and wanting people to have one idea of what a movie's gonna be about. Another thing is putting intentionally shitty CGI to say, oh man,
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and like Nick, log off. You gave us your top
Why would
three.
someone do that? Like, we're going to push away all of
Who
our
has
viewers.
the film degrees here?
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean nothing right now, man.
Your simple minds can't handle the truth.
I don't know.
I've
Manny,
been saying this
Manny,
for
tell me I'm wrong.
I've been saying it
Tell me
for a
I'm wrong.
while. I'm pretty sure MCU has just gotten to that mindset of it doesn't matter what we put out. You're gonna watch it. You cheap are gonna watch it. It's not a big deal. and it's shown in the MCU with Multiverse of Madness. The CGI that they use on the scary parts with her like crawling out of the mirror and stuff, that looked horrible. Like the Ring from 2002 looked better than that. You know what I mean? Like they have the budget to make good CGI, and there's great CGI in today's day and age, but MCU always has bad CGI every time. Like ever since I want to say Endgame, everything from Endgame up, horrible CGI. Look at Iron Man 2008, looks better. Like you were saying, Carlos, you brought that up. It looked so good for 2008 as well. And now it's like, you love us, you love the MCU, you're gonna watch whatever we put out. So She-Hulk, hey, you love She-Hulk, here you go. Here, have this. We're not gonna put our best work at it, but here you go, peasant. Like, watch it. That's
And
them.
I don't know, man. I hope again. I hope that it changes, dude. I will happily eat my words. I will happily say, you know what, man? Damn, I was wrong because it'll be to my benefit. If I'm right,
Right.
it's if I'm right, it's gonna suck, man. But anyways, moving on. Manny,
Yeah, go ahead, Nick, because I don't have any disappointments this week.
oh cool, good for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good week.
What a waste of goddamn money.
Oh, I need to read that. I knew that I saw that my LCS, and I was like, oh, this is out. I'm not buying this. Shadow War
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. I
Shadow
skipped that.
War Zone
I skipped that 100%.
was a definite skip. It was just a bunch of like stories, multiple stories that tied into what was going on with characters that we haven't really highlighted or events that haven't really highlighted yet. It takes place before the Omega. Um,
That's so stupid.
the only good thing was the cover, this cardstock cover, which is an homage to, I believe, Teen Titans.
Isn't
That's
that
a
for
to me.
X?
To me, that's a yeah. To me, that's a homage for X Men's Days of Future Past.
Yeah,
Is it? Oh, I guess you're
Where
right.
the cover where it's got
Wolverine.
Wolverine and Kitty on the cover.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was a Teen Titans cover similar to this as well, though.
Well, we
That
need
might
to
have been
figure
an
out which
homage to
one's the
that.
actual homage.
Um, but this is a pretty solid cover. There was an okay what's it called? Black Canary story, and that was really it. You find out that the League of Assassins character that's been hunting everybody down.
Uh,
Um,
there's been a couple.
the
No, like the
The
main girl, the main
the girl with the blade or something.
yeah. You find out that she was trained by Black Canary,
wonderful.
and that's really the only thing you get out of that whole issue.
Yeah, I'm still gonna read it, but definitely just happy I skipped it. Good to know it's your disappointment, though.
Yeah, it was a waste of my time. It really was, and I thought it was going to be something that having to actually do like the next part or whatever. And then when I saw it was multi stories, I was like, oh no, like what did I
What is
get
the
myself?
next part of Shadow War?
Next week we have Deathstroke and Robin come out.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm
I got
definitely
like
not picking. I'm
17 books
definitely
next week.
damn. Yeah,
Nice. That was quick. That was a quick disappointment.
yeah. Not bad.
I had
Not
nothing
too
else
bad.
to say. It wasn't
too
like there was something wrong with the stories. They just weren't necessary, weren't that great.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything for the overarching event, which, as we all know, has just kind of been like pretty mid.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily terrible, but not great either.
Oh, it's been terrible.
You think it's terrible? There's definitely
Don't
been worse.
don't lie to don't lie to yourself. In this year specifically,
Not in this year, but I would say
Shadow War is zero. Like it's bad.
what was the last Batman event?
I
I
mean,
don't know.
official event wouldn't have been like the whole what is it? The whole fear state.
Fear
I mean,
State?
right?
Yeah.
Do you think
Right?
Fear State was better than this?
Yes.
Actually,
100%.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
there's like Shadow War has just been disappointing. Shadow War Alpha, amazing. That's
Yeah,
the top of the roller coaster. But the thing is that this roller coaster went up, and then the rest is just downhill, and it's kind of like a swirl. So it's like, whoa, yeah, it's fun. Kind of, no, it's not fun. It's just downhill. That's
yep,
all it is.
yep.
Has no more up. But maybe the Omega will be just like the Alpha, and the Omega will be the up to slow the ride down and then get you off. You know, everybody
Mm.
off the ride.
Man, on that down note, let's liven things up again a little bit, man. Favorite cover of the week. Um, favorite cover is one of my top books too, and it's Slumber #3, the B cover. Um, dude, B cover. It has that theme, like I mentioned, very colorful. It's supposed to be happy. It's supposed to be bright, but shit is dark. You get that great contrast between the nightmare, and I love how it's like depicted in the shadow, and then the background. You got that
Oh, heck yeah.
vibrant, colorful backdrop, but underlying creepiness, man. And I think this is a beautifully done cover.
It
So good.
reminds me again. I was just talking about it with Multiverse of Madness, but it reminds me of The Ring. You know, like that's that girl, The Grudge, or The Grudge as well. Either
Grudge.
one, honestly.
Yeah, both I guess.
So
But yeah.
Carlos stole mine.
Is that your favorite too?
Oh, there you go.
It was going to be, but now I got to pull something out of my sock.
Nah.
That's your favorite is
Nah,
your favorite. You can't
Your
do
favorite's
this.
your favorite, man. Your favorite
It's
is
not
your
my.
favorite.
It's no longer my favorite because Carlos likes it.
Oh, no, that's too bad. My favorite cover of the week is none of them. They were all covers. Nothing
Just
really
covers.
popped out. I got all my books. I did get the variant for Silk, the Woo variant,
Oh,
which was
yeah.
it was kind of cool. But like, I would never say that this is like, oh my god, I had to get it. I got
Yeah.
it because it was there. I was like, I'll buy it if my LCS has it, and it
Mhm.
does. And this actually makes it to where this whole Silk run, this 2022 run, I have all the variants for that, which is kind of weird. Like
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen. So
That
yeah,
was a great cover too. That was that Catwoman cover
Channing
was
Feason.
yeah, that one was the runner up for me, and I got that cover as well. It's a beautiful cover.
all
Yeah.
right.
Cool. But yeah, let's talk about what we're excited for next week to wrap things up. Uh,
Woohoo!
yep. For me, man, the book that I'm most excited about is the return of Barbaric. We're getting a one shot next week before we get season 2, volume 2, book 2, whatever you want to call it. Um, Barbaric was one of my absolute top favorite comic series of last year. And I'm super excited that it's back. Yeah, man, I'm hyped. I'm pumped. I love it. Yeah, and then we're getting uh, something is killing the children again next week. Always look forward to that. I know that I'm gonna enjoy it. Safe bet. So yeah, I'm very excited for those 2 books. What about you, Manny?
I'm not completely on the bandwagon for something that's killing children, but I'm riding on it. I have a hand on the wagon.
All right,
Yeah.
all
I'm
right,
getting dragged along. All right, but
all right.
I am looking forward to the next book.
That's fair.
I think what I'm looking forward to the most this week is going to be Moon Knight #11. That
Yeah, me
one.
too.
And the thing is, I don't want to look forward to it because as soon as I get my hype up for it, that's when it's going to go down. So like now that I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it, it's not going to be good. But it looks
See,
like Hunter. What's that? Zodiac. It looks like Zodiac's coming back. So very excited to see
yep.
that saga. And there's a book by Scout Comics coming out, Triskel. It was supposed to come out like last week or last month. It looks like it's going to come out this week. If it does, great. If it doesn't, well, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple good books this week.
Cool.
So I was shocked that Carlos didn't say he was excited for this book, but we have a series returning for a volume 2. Good Boy issue 1 of volume 2 comes out next week. I'm also really excited for
I'm adding it right now.
children. What?
I'm adding it right now to make sure that I'm not gonna miss
So
it.
yeah, good.
Because
Good.
I'm sure that it's gonna make my top pick next week.
Oh hell yeah!
No. Okay.
All right, Good Boy 1. Next issue, so Something's Killing the Children. issue 2 of Vampire Slayer. Really excited for, and then uh yeah, most likely Rogue Sun. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I'm not reading DC vs Vampires, but I'm might pick up the one shot for Hunters because it seems like it's gonna be a Damien story, and I really like this
That
cover.
cover looks that cover looks pretty cool though, man. That
Who's the
cover looks
Yeah.
artist
dope.
on that? Is that who I think it is?
John Boy Myers.
Um.
Yep, that's who I thought it was. That guy's just not for me. I can see why people like it, but it's too sharp for me.
um, but yeah, any final words for this week, my friends?
No, this one was quick. This one was good. It was
Yeah,
a okay week, so
yeah, good week, man. We'll see what next week brings, but like always, everybody, thank you for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please give us a like. Let us know in the comments.
Follow.
Follow all that good stuff. Let us know what you're reading, what we should be reading, what you think about our picks. And yeah, just share your overall thoughts. We always love to hear from everybody. But yeah, have a good weekend. Thank you, guys.